Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of the NASCAR Heat 5 Career Mode. I hope you're all having a great day. Today we go racing at the Coca-Cola 600 for the Cup Series at Charlotte Motor Speedway. That's all we have, but first we have an announcement regarding Daniel Suarez's injury from last episode and who will replace him. And for this race, it's actually going to be Formula 1 driver Daniel Ricciardo. So Go On Racing announces this week that Ricciardo will replace the injured Daniel Suarez in the 77 car at Charlotte. Ricciardo is an established winner in Formula 1 and was lucky to have an off week to take this chance in NASCAR. Quote, "I'm very excited to have this chance as a lifelong NASCAR fan. I plan to make the most of it," said Daniel Ricciardo. So very excited at least to have this opportunity with Daniel, the McLaren Formula 1 driver in our car. Of course, drove at Red Bull for multiple seasons, picked up multiple wins over there, and then went to McLaren this season in real life, and hopefully we'll see him at some point win a race, or at least get on the podium alongside Lando Norris. But we come through into the Coca-Cola 600, and here we are for qualifying. This is a Crown Jewel race, so we have the Crown Jewel Razor paint scheme back on here for the track today, made by High C Creations on Twitter, so make sure to check out his Twitter page when you get an opportunity to see some of the awesome work he does and whatnot, as well as he's pretty active in my Discord from time to time, so you can see the schemes he does in there specifically. But we'll come through to cross the line with the 29.800 and qualify P17 for the Coca-Cola 600. So definitely a little bit of work to do, but we are no stranger to qualifying kind of down towards the middle of the pack at Charlotte Motor Speedway. So a very interesting season it has been so far with the points and the different winners and whatnot, and we're only like, I don't even know if we're 30 points to the good coming into this race, and we're fourth in the standings. So we got some work to do, of course. We need to hope that there's no new winners, and we do need to hope that if there is a new winner, that they are outside of the top 30 of points. Now as we get ready to take the green flag for the Coca-Cola 600. Long race tonight, boys. Let's go have a good one. Of course, we're thinking of Daniel, hoping for a quick recovery there and get him back in the car before the playoffs start, and hopefully he'll be able to still fight for a playoff spot. So good luck to Daniel as well in our car. Let's go see what we can do. Alright, there you have it from myself on the radio here as we're getting ready to go green. Chase Elliott, our teammate who's trying to beat us into the playoffs at an unapproved body modification during qualifying. He will start at the back of the pack along with Justin Haley, who failed optical scanning station multiple times, and Noah Gregson had to replace the transmission before the race. So 3 drivers sent to the back here. Now as we get ready to go green from the Coca-Cola 600 alongside Alex Bowman. Starting on the outside, not the end of the world at Charlotte, but we are now underway and under the green flag conditions here at Charlotte. As well, keep in mind, up in front of us by a few rows, you see a major lighting change right there every time we come to Charlotte. That happens when we go into the replays, at least for the first stage. So a few rows up, Jimmy Johnson in the 25 car is back here in his NASCAR return. That kind of went a little bit under the radar, but he is racing here today in the number 25 Carvana Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet. So it's going to be interesting to see how he can do in his NASCAR return. We saw Dale Jr. return for the Daytona 500, and then we saw Jimmy Johnson now here at the Coca-Cola 600. You might even see Jeff Gordon potentially at some point this season. So stay tuned on that as I'm going 3 wide down this front straightaway with Matt DiBenedetto, as well as that 3 of Austin Dillon. Here's a go down into turns 1. Now Austin Cindric currently leading the way. I've been mentioning previously, I think in the last episode even, that oval performance from the 33 of Cindric has really been improving this time around. Now as we got past Jimmy Johnson, unfortunately, Jimmy Johnson was actually dropping like a rock. He really had nothing for the competition in the early stages of this race here. Now, as we were going on the outside, trying to make this outside line work, and it was working because there were some cars on the bottom that just didn't quite have much speed at this point. And drivers like Haley Deegan, as well as even the 88 of William Byron was kind of holding this up, and then the 20 of Christopher Bell, he was on the bottom trying to make a pass into turns 1. Up ahead, Daniel Ricciardo in our Yellow Heart Going Racing Camaro inside the top 10 in his first ever NASCAR Cup Series start as well. Here's we almost get clear of the 88 of Byron, couldn't quite pull it off, so I'm forced to stay, at least for now, on the top 2 turns 3 and 4 as I'm trying to make my way to the outside of the 20 of Christopher Bell, and sure enough, actually, we're going to be able to make it happen here. We get to the outside of him alongside down the front straightaway, starting this 5th lap, and we're already up inside the top 10 after starting almost down towards 20th place now, as up front, it was Harrison Burton in the 19 on lap 5, Alex Bowen, he had gotten to me, and then he would actually look to my inside. There was a lot of speed in that number 48 car here in this first stage, so I just let Alex go into turns 1, didn't really want anything to do with him at this point. I just said go and take it, but unfortunately Matt DiBenedetto as well as Sam Mayer, they were actually able to get to my inside here now on lap 7 coming to lap 8. Kyle Larson was coming up into the mix there. A bit of a moment with the 10 of Almirola. Now is up ahead actually. We got smoke coming out of the, I believe that's the 42 of Tyler Reddick. Yes, sure enough it is Reddick for the Chip Ganassi Racing team, and he's way off the pace. I'm going to get down to the inside because he's going to check up a bunch of cars including Daniel Ricciardo in the 77, and all of a sudden we're going to move through in towards almost a top 5 position here if we can get past that 10 of DiBenedetto. Austin Cindric really lost a good chunk of time right there. As you see me continuously looking back, waiting to see if there's going to be some type of crash. The crash never happened. The 42 of Reddick got to the pit lane safely, and that would, unfortunately for him, be the end of his race here in the Coca-Cola 600 after just 8 laps completed for him. So we would continue now into P5 now as we exit turns 2. So of course that really helped us quite a bit, and then we would run down the McLaren driver of Ryan Blaney, who's going to be our teammate next season now, as actually the caution comes out, and behind us it was for our teammate of Alex Bowman. His right front tire, I believe it was, or the left front, one of them blew out, and then the caution came out very quick before he really ran into anything. So Bowman will not actually be out of the race, but his chance now at stage 1 points probably just got a lot slimmer, and stage points for a guy like him, myself, Chase Elliott, Noah Gragson, all extremely important as we make a couple adjustments there on the wedge, on the grill tape. I was thinking about messing with the tire pressures as well, but of course we put 2 cans of fuel on the car and 4 fresh tires, and we come out just where we came in here in 5th place now as Harrison Burton and Denny Hamlin lead the way back to the restart here on that front row. DiBenedetto and Blaney, row number 2 as the green flag is back out, and just 9 laps remain here in this first and opening stage. As you guys know, in the Coca-Cola 600, there was 4 stages here at Charlotte Motor Speedway for tonight's race, which means that there's one more opportunity to get another 10 potential points now, and that extra stage in this race honestly could end up potentially being a deciding factor in who makes the playoffs later this season here as we go down into turns 3. You see a bunch of tire marks through turns 3 and 4. It looked like someone had some type of issue now as we come through out of the corner. Hamlin drops down into P3, DiBenedetto up into 2nd, putting some pressure on that 19 of Harrison Burton here now as I just kind of settle in behind Denny. Kyle Larson, I was bringing him through the whole field with me. He was now up into 5th place as I look up the inside of Hamlin. DiBenedetto looks up the inside of the 19 now as we exit turn 2. I clipped that apron right there, lost some momentum. Hamlin gets clear. Kyle Larson's going to go by on the outside. A lot of speed in that number 5 Brandt Chevrolet now, and he would also get past Denny Hamlin. Larson in position as well where he's probably going to have to win to get in the playoffs. Hendrick Motorsports still has not won a single race this season, but both of the Alliance teams, Going Racing, we've won. William Byron's team of Earnhardt Johnson Racing, they've won as well, but the actual main team has yet to pick up a victory in the series, which is very frustrating. Of course, we've had a frustrating season, but we're 4th in the points. As bad as it seems, we're not having as bad of a season as it sounds now as we come through to 2 laps to go, approaching the final lap in stage 1, now passing Denny Hamlin into the corner, trying to now attack the 5 of Larson. So as I come through out of turns 4 down the front straightaway, Hamlin nearly gets to my inside. Now as we come through out of the corner, fortunately does not happen there, and we hold on to the position for the time being now as we start this final lap of stage 1. Harrison Burton really not under a whole lot of pressure from the 10 of Matt DiBenedetto here. So we come through down this back straightaway. I knew I wasn't really going to have anything here for the 5 of Larson, so I was just kind of settling into 4th place on this final lap here. As I'm at least going to try and sail it up the inside there, but couldn't quite pull it off as we come through out of turns 4. But we actually get a decent run right there, but Larson's still able to hold us off. So we come through to settle for 4th place, but against our competition, I mean, of course, Larson's behind us in points, but he's going to have to make up way more than just a point or 2 here and there. So we beat the guys we really need to beat, and that's Noah Gragson, who was 10th. Chase Elliott not even in the top 10. Alex Bowman as well, not in the top 10. So we beat the guys that we needed to beat, and as long as we do not have a win, we are points racing right now, which is unfortunate. I don't think I've ever been in a situation where we've had to really point race at this point in the regular season where we have less than 10 races to go before the playoffs even begin. So we've picked up only, what, 1 playoff point this season with a stage win. So we got some work to do, of course, but now we are going to come into the pit lane again for 2 cans of fuel, 4 fresh tires. You saw me make another slight adjustment. I was putting the grill tape up here and there on these pit stops today, and I knew that we were having a little bit more room to work with on that, so I was putting it up to 50 as we gain 1 spot there on the pit lane, overtaking our Hendrick Motorsports teammate of Kyle Larson. Harrison Burton, the stage 1 winner, leads the way to the start of stage 2, and for the start of stage 2 here in Charlotte, it's time to get amped. There you have the AMP segment here from the Coca-Cola 600 in Charlotte Motor Speedway. We dropped down to 4th place after restarting in P3. Kyle Busch up to 5th place, now putting some pressure on the back of myself here as we exit turns 2. Of course, a former teammate. We are with Kyle Busch back all the way in the first 2 seasons of the career mode. When we started our Cup Series career with Joe Gibbs Racing, I think a lot of people at this point probably forget that, and even I forget that from time to time now, because we've spent most of our time, of course, in this number 24 car now, as we've been committed to this HMS team ever since we've come here now. As we get cleared by Kyle Busch. Of course, with 1 season left in the career mode after this one, I can confirm, might as well, that I will likely be staying with the 24 and Hendrick Motorsports for that final season of the career mode. But you can see that this second stage wasn't going as good as I was hoping, because now we were down to 5th place, and I make a mistake there. I hit the apron, hit the wall, and that allows the 2 Ford drivers of Stenhouse and Briscoe to go by. We're down to P7 as we came through to start the 9th lap of the stage, and here these guys go on our outside. There goes Noah Gregson. Now as we got Sam Mayer on my outside into turns 1. We're actually 3 wide currently here as we come through the center of the corner. Now as I push up a little bit on the exit of the corner, there you got the Red Bull of Christian Eckes on the far outside, one of the Rookie of the Year contenders, right up against his actual other contender of Sam Mayer. But the caution comes out here once again in Charlotte, and there was actually a bit of some mixed strategy for this one. You see McLaughlin and Busch are towards the back of the field. They're coming into the pit lane, and then towards the front, of course, we got Gregson, as well as the leader of Harrison Burton and Matt DiBenedetto. We're in a position where we need every single point possible, so I felt like we were pretty much forced to stay out here and make sure we get stage points. So we gained a few spots, get ready to go back green from the 6th position, and now there will only be 10 laps to go here in the second stage. So it's still quite a bit of time now, and as you guys know, stage 3 and 4 pretty much the same length as stage 1 and 2. It's a pretty evenly split race. I believe in real life for the 400 laps, it's just 100, 100, 100, 100. Pretty straightforward now as we come through out of turns 4. And honestly, I think 4 stages for this race are necessary. It's such a long race, and usually in real life it becomes a very boring race. So I think 4 stages was actually a great move from NASCAR now as we come through the center of 3 and out of 4. Daniel Ricciardo up my inside there in our own car as we come through out of turns 4, but we do stay clear of him for the time being. Now as I fight back to the outside of Rookie of the Year contender of Sam Mayer into turns 1. I can tell you guys right now, he might actually be switching teams already as well going into that final season of the career mode, so stay tuned on that. I will have an announcement soon now as we come through down this back straightaway up the inside of Sam as we go down towards turns 3 now, as we try to at least rally our way back towards a top 5 position now as we come through out of turns 4. We clear the 99 and now at the inside of the 14, and you can just see when this car gets going, we can really make a lot happen now as we force it 3 wide with Eckes as well as Kyle Larson as we go down into turns 1, and now back up into the top 5 we go. I make a bit of a mistake there into turns 1, now we slide up the track, and that allowed the progress that we just gained to get completely wiped away as the 82 gets past. The 14 of Briscoe is going to go through as well on the inside, so Eckes, he would continue to fall down to P5, and now once again fight back up his inside now, coming to just 5 laps to go here in stage 2. So we were now moving our way back in front of that 82, and now at the inside of Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who's having actually a tremendous effort here today. And right now we got guys that are in the mix to win this race that would really hurt us. Kyle Larson, Chase Briscoe, even the 82 of Christian Eckes. I'm not sure if the 6 of Stenhouse is in the top 30 right now, but if he is, of course, he'd be another one that would completely mess us over. But now, with 2 laps to go in the stage, Kyle Busch leading the way, but here was the issue. Field was very, very close. My spotter was telling me guys were pitting right here, but no one ever actually came in front of us now. So, coming through to start the final lap, Alex Bowman all of a sudden was getting up into the mix here. But you see the field light comes on, so we're going to be fine to the end of this final lap here, because we got nearly 2 more laps before this car runs out of fuel. But what's going to happen with the competition right here is really the big question as we exit turn 2. We finish 4th in stage 1, just behind Kyle Larson. We make a move up the inside of the 5 and the 14. They're both having issues now. The 14 specifically is out of fuel. Larson looks to the inside of him. Kyle Busch, he's coming into the pit lane out of turns 4 on this final lap of the stage, and we're going to come through out of nowhere to win stage 2, as Bowman as well as Chase Elliott as well are going to find themselves in the top 5 to end this second stage here on the Coca-Cola 600. Wow, I don't think any of us saw that coming, boys. That was good. I mean, I don't know why they pitted. I don't know how in the world they couldn't make it on field. I know the 14 was running out, but I mean, wow, I'll take it. There you have it on the radio, just my reaction to us pulling off the stage victory now. And I'll tell you what, this race, even for me, I mean, of course, we only do a quarter of what they do in real life, but this felt like it was taking forever. We were only now just halfway done this race here in the Coca-Cola 600 now. Is of course we're pitting for 2 cans of fuel as well as 4 fresh tires. So I didn't know if the guys that were on the pit lane there at the end of the stage could stay out or not. And it looked like the only guy that could stay out was the 6 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. So I'm not sure if he pitted before that last lap or something. But either way, myself and Stenhouse on the front row now as the green flag is back out in this third and not final stages. I was about to say final stages underway, but no, we still got 2 stages left to go. As on row number 2, you got Alex Bowman, you got the 99 of Sam Mayer. In 5th place, you got Chase Elliott. Right now, the top 5, not a single one of these top 5 drivers have won a race this season, and unfortunately, that includes myself in this number 24 Razor Chevrolet Camaro. We got so much work to do to get to victory lane, and if we can't make it happen today, you immediately look into the next race, Bristol Motor Speedway. We're always a competitor there. We have lost races at Bristol, of course, so it's not like we're guaranteed to win there, but we know at the very minimum we're at least going to be a threat to win that race. And I go into that one with a not necessarily a must-win mentality, but like a really we gotta pick up the pace and win a race mentality there. We're like, hopefully we can pull it off. Of course, it's going to be so tough, but fortunately, I think Bristol is one of the easier tracks to win at. So I think if there's one track where we can get this team back on track, then it's going to be Bristol in the next episode now. I mean, even here today, we got some good speed. We've been showing some good speed in Hendrick Motorsports lately. Obviously, the earlier part of the season, we couldn't even finish in the top 5. A top 10 was a bit of a win for us now, but now we've been consistently getting some top 10s again and starting to fight in the top 5 and even just picking up a stage victory now as Ricky Stenhouse Jr. would just make it so hard on us to get past. Now on lap 4, we're still side by side with the number 6 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He was not giving up whatsoever, and what was that allowing? That was allowing the 48 of Alex Bowman to just check right out. Now on lap 5, same situation. Can't pass him. I'm not letting Ricky go because I know how important every single point is, so I'm trying my best to get past him eventually here. But we would continue side by side now into lap 6. This was like a 3 to 4 lap side by side battle constantly, but finally through turns 1 and 2 right there, I nearly get him, and sure enough, right there, I slide up in front of him, and we exit the corner clear of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. So a very frustrating moment with him, but we were able to pull it off eventually now as Harrison Burton would end up working his way back up into 3rd place, and he was running me down very, very quick, so I knew he probably had a faster car than even Alex Bowman, so I was planning to just let that 19 go once it got to me. And he was already here as we went down towards turn 3, and he already kind of just shows his nose up the inside, so I just said, you know what, take it, I'm not even going to fight you right now, because we still got a good chunk of racing to go even now as we exit turn 4. So Harrison gets past there for 2nd place. Last season, of course, it was a battle between myself and Harrison in his first season with Joe Gibbs Racing for just winning the most races, and just in terms of competitiveness, we were right there together. This season has been completely different now as the caution, of course, has come out. Unfortunately, once again, we don't have a look at what caused the caution, but we are going to come into the pit lane, just fill it up, 4 fresh tires. That's been the story of every single pit stop so far in this episode now. As I was thinking about still making some adjustments to the car because I wanted to see if we could find anything else, and I was just making very little adjustments there on the tire pressures, and honestly, what I was doing probably really wasn't helping much, but I still wanted to at least just try something because the car felt pretty good, but I just didn't want to go too severe on the changes and then completely throw the race away potentially when every single point for us right now matters now, as we would actually overtake Harrison Burton on the pit lane. So we are back on that front row here alongside Alex Bowman as we get ready to go green late here on this 3rd stage from the Coca-Cola 600 now. So right behind us we got Stenhouse once again in 4th place, and only 5 laps to go, by the way, here in stage 3. So we got to make sure we're on it here, making no mistakes as we go down into turns 1. Being on this outside, we know that Bowman likely will get clear here on the exit of turns 2. Sure enough, yes, there you go. The 48 clear as we go down this back straightaway. The 19 of Harrison Burton up my inside. Unfortunately, would have loved to get down to that inside, but Burton already there as we go down into turns 3. Bowman kind of takes a little bit of a wider line, but eventually drops down to that inside. Now as Burton, he's going to get past as well here as we got now the 14 of Chase Briscoe up my inside as well as we come through down this front straightaway. So 4 laps to go on the stage, and now right here is going to be our opportunity potentially to get down to the inside, but I decided to actually try and fight back on the 14. It does not work whatsoever, and that allows the 99 of Sam Mayer to my inside, and now I look back and realize that we got the 10 car coming as well on the inside, and potentially even the 1 of Noah Gragson as we go down into turns 3 as the 6 of Stenhouse nearly got to the back of me, but now on lap 20 out of turns 2, the 1 of Gragson, he is going to get by, and then the 9 car Chase Elliott's coming through on the inside as well as we go down towards turn 3, so we're still stuck here on the top as we go into the corner, approaching just 2 laps to go in this third stage now as we exit turns 4, a little bit wide right there, but definitely a frustrating restart right there because we just gave away, what, 5-6 points or something like that. So finally though, we get up the inside, but then once I went to the inside, the 6 car just goes by on my outside as we go down towards turn 3, and that brings Joey Logano all of a sudden into the mix behind us as I make a mistake right there through turns 3. Up the track we go. Logano gets up my inside as we exit turns 4. Some contact with him. We drop down all the way to 10th place after restarting in the 2nd position as we start the final lap here in this third stage as we go down into turns 1. Harrison Burton checking out once again as Bowman, Briscoe, and DiBenedetto 2nd, 3rd, and 4th places. We're up the inside of that 22. Some contact again with the Pennzoil Ford Mustang as we go down this back straightaway on this final lap in stage 3. Some contact into the corner as well, but we keep it fairly clean through turns 3 and 4 as I'm trying to get that extra point over Logano as we exit the corner, and sure enough we do get clear of the 22 and up the inside of the 6 of Stenhouse. Not enough right there to get him, but we rebound just a tiny bit into the 9th position here, so we only get 2 points instead of having a chance at potentially 8 or 9 points when we originally got going for that restart. So of course very, very frustrating right there, which is unfortunate, but now we're gonna have to get ready to go back green here for the 4th and final stage now, as we're going to put once again 2 cans of fuel in the car as well as 4 fresh tires. I really didn't make any adjustments there. I felt like the car was good. As long as we can just be on that bottom line, we should be in pretty good shape. Alright boys, we got a good car, so hopefully we can rebound to a better finish there. That 22 is going to be behind us, I think, so that's really the only thing that I think we're going to have to worry about here. But we got a good car, so let's go make something happen here. The points are everything. There you hear myself on the radio once again here as we're going to get ready to take the green flag for what could be the final time here in the Coca-Cola 600. Now as we are back underway, Joey Logano starts on my outside, so that was a bit of a concern knowing how he is going to race us with 23 laps to go, and if it stays green, we should actually have to make a green flag pit stop now, but we've had cautions I think like every stage so far, so I doubt it's going to stay green. But there's the bumper from the 22 of Joey Logano, who got to the inside right behind myself now, so I'm getting aggressive. I use the 99 kind of as a pick to try and stall that 22 of Joey Logano. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite work as we go down into turns 3, because now we're 3 wide with Sam Mayer as well as Kyle Larson, and the 22 of Logano is right on the back of me here as we go down this front straightaway. So honestly, he kind of helps me a little bit down the front straightaway, pushes me through into the top 10. Some contact with my teammate there for a moment of Kyle Larson, but we go for a bit of a slide, and that brings the 22 to my back bumper. He pushes us right out of the groove. We nearly crashed the car. Larson nearly crashes as well. He keeps it going in the right direction, but after that we lose a bunch of ground because of that 22 just shoving us way out of the groove. And now of course I'm heated about this situation where we've run top 10 all race since we got here. Logano shows up, just punts us out of the way, and now we're not even in the top 10 anymore. So I was trying my best to get back to him as quick as we could here with 21 laps to go. Now as Hamlin and Larson are side by side right in front of myself, I'm right on the back of that FedEx Toyota Camry. Hamlin's last Coca-Cola 600, by the way, in his Cup Series career here, as we're 3 wide with Larson and Busch down this backstretch. Larson falls in behind us now as we go down into turn 3. Busch had a tremendous run there on the outside as I'm going to force it 3 wide right there, and I definitely should not have went for that because there was really not a lot of room, but that was one of those moments where I was heated and just trying to get to that 22 of Joey Logano, and then I make a mistake like that and just continue to hurt my own progress because of that situation here as we go down into the corner. Now settling in behind that 5 of Kyle Larson. Now as we're under attack from the 41 and the 7 of now Keselowski and Ryan Blaney. There's some more mistakes from myself now, and that allows Sam Mayer to my outside. I actually let out the throttle down the straightaway to make sure I could get to the inside, and then I finally start to calm down a little bit here. We make it 3 wide with Blaney and Sam Mayer into turns 1 on lap 82, and now we're going to be able to pass them here as we go into the corner, but Mayer actually has a good run through the center of the corner on the exit. But like I said, I had finally kind of calmed down a little bit, and now we were just trying to focus in and move our way back forwards here within the final 20 laps of this race, because I know how important these stage points are, and I don't want to, or I mean points overall at this point here in this final stage, so I don't want to make any silly mistakes at this point like we have already done. So I know we can still rally towards the top 10. I knew our chances of winning, of course, were gone after that. So we got past the 41 of Keselowski. We got up the inside of Hamlin. I kind of got a little bit physical right there with him. But we also managed to get past him, and now we're to the back of 10th place of Joey Logano. I said, I'm not wasting any time. If I got to drive through you, I'm going to drive through you. So we actually get up his inside with 15 laps to go, making the move for 10th place, and sure enough, he's going to get in behind me. I sailed it off into the corner. Logano moves us once again out of the groove as we come through out of turn 2. So as you can imagine, once again, the heat starting to pick up a little bit for me now as we go down this back straightaway. I look at the back bumper to make sure it's not too damaged, but into turn 3, I said, I'm just going through you no matter what now. So he comes down on us. I'm just going to completely drive through the 22 of Joey Logano and just move on with our day. We're going to go and finish this race inside the top 10 while he's just going to struggle behind us. So now with 10 laps to go, of course, we had very little time remaining running P10, and I was actually really struggling at this point to even close the gap to Kyle Larson. I felt like I was driving this car right to the edge, and I just couldn't get to that 5 of Larson. Now I feel like we were slowly gaining, but of course not enough time, and we also have a green flag pit stop still on the way now. 7 laps to go in this race, 4 laps to field. Nobody here can make it to the end of this race from what I'm aware of. So I was getting ready to pit, and it was going to be no tires. It was just going to be fuel. So I was getting ready to come in here. Of course, I was considering short pitting, but when we short pit, we've had cautions ruin our chances. So of course, we cannot afford that at this point now in the season with the current situation we're in. So I was going to make sure we waited till everybody else started to make their pit stop cycle here, like Kyle Larson and just like the leaders in general. Now we only have 1 lap of fuel in the car, so we were forced to come in on lap 96 along with pretty much everybody else for the most part here as we go down into turn 3. Everybody in front of us coming in, and of course we're going to follow through here with the other 9 drivers in front of us. Logano actually stays out, but we get down to the pit speed no problem. We come in, no tires like I said, just fuel in the car now as we're going to get back going. And I feel like I actually potentially took maybe too much fuel because Kyle Larson, he was way out in front of me, but at the same time it looks like he took less fuel than pretty much everybody. So an interesting call there from the 5 of Kyle Larson now as we get back up to speed down this back straightaway coming to the final 3 laps. Austin Dillon now on the pit lane as we have an actual crash. Through turn 3, it's Kyle Busch in the M&M's Toyota Camry in the 18. He's going to go back into the outside. Well, Hamlin hits him. He goes up and over. The 99 hits him in the side, and up and over goes Kyle Busch. That one I did not consider to be violent enough to be an injury, so Kyle Busch will remain in the series. Here's my view. Look how close we were to getting taken out in this crash. That was way closer than it needed to be. But Austin Dillon and Christopher Bell, they were on the pit lane when this caution came out, so they get to hold on to the lead or to the front row for NASCAR overtime. Austin Dillon, winless on the season, might I mention, looking for his first win, of course, on the season as overtime is underway. But here is the good part about this. Austin Dillon is actually not in the top 30 in points. So if he hangs on to the win here, this will not affect us whatsoever. But look who's right on his back bumper. Kyle Larson up to 2nd place as we go down this back straightaway now as we now have Gragson up our inside, and we got to get down to the bottom if possible, but of course I don't want to lift whatsoever at this point, so we go up the outside of Elliott into turns 3. Dillon and Larson clear for 1st and 2nd place as we exit turns 4. White flag in the air here in the Coca-Cola 600. Up the inside we got that number 82 Red Bull of Christian Eckes here as we go down towards turns 1. Gragson now once again on the inside there for 10th place. Bowman drifting down towards the bottom part of the top 10. Larson got taken 3 wide. Austin Dillon has checked out down this back straightaway for the final time. The 99 with a bunch of damage there as I nearly turned the 82 of Christian Eckes into turns 3. Fortunately we do not now, as Austin Dillon though for the 2nd time in his Cup Series career out of turns 4 is going to win the Coca-Cola 600 for Richard Childress Racing. We come through to cross the line and not even finish inside the top 10. Unfortunately here from Charlotte Motor Speedway as we have to settle for a 12th place finish. Austin Dillon with the victory. Matt DiBenedetto, Christopher Bell, Chase Briscoe, and Kyle Larson, your top 5. Alex Bowman rounds up the top 10, and of course we finished just outside of the top 10. So, fortunately, Austin, like I had mentioned, is outside of the top 30 points, and he's actually got a long ways to go to get into the top 30, so it's likely not going to happen. So that, fortunately, did not affect us whatsoever. Of course, we did lose a few points to the guys we needed to beat, so now there you see the playoff grid briefly now. So we have 498 points, so we're only like 30 points or so above the cut line after Charlotte. But in the next episode, we got Bristol Motor Speedway, the race that I have been waiting for to try and get this team back on the right track, and I think there is no better track that we can do that. If we don't win Bristol at that point, I don't know. We know we have speed at Indianapolis, so it's not the end of the world. There's still some tracks we can definitely win at. But as always, if you guys enjoyed this episode, you know what to do. I'd like to thank you all for taking the time out of your day to watch this episode. As you see, the next few tracks after Bristol, we got Indianapolis, we got Iowa, we got tracks like Michigan, Canada, New Hampshire, as well as the Charlotte Roval. But before we end it, just a quick thank you to the Going Racing members as well of MJ, Joseph 9001, Timothy Arline, Bubba Jr., Brett Durward, Dark Gengar Gaming, AJ Vasseur, Russell Dixon, Kenneth Barnett, Dana9302, as well as King Matt XL. You guys help me out so much, and I really do appreciate it once again. And just thank you so much. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day, everybody.